Welcome to Grant's Rant Season 2, Episode 4. This is our Game of the Year discussion for 2018. I'm here with Holden and I, as always, if we're talking about gaming-related topics. Before we get into the top games of the year, I wanted to talk about some things that we've been playing through the winter break and some of the games that we were talking about last episode, which weren't really a lot. So a couple of games that I wanted to talk about first was the small Vita game that I got back in 2016. It was called Taco Master. It's a port game from iOS. It was only like $2 or something. The reason why I came back to it, I think I went back to it like 2 weeks ago. The reason why was because I wanted to get I had one more trophy left before getting the platinum, and so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna grind. I think it was like Snatch. You like basically. All right, so talk about the game. Is you make tacos. It's kind of like a Diner Dash where like you have to like make food and stuff. So I had to like make tacos with the touchscreen and then move it up. There's this one mode where you're on a beach and like crabs come up and you have to like swat them away. Otherwise you can't you can't put food on the tacos and make the order. So one of the trophies was swat away 1,000 crabs. And so I just like went on the hardest level and just like swatted a bunch of crabs. And it took me like 15-30 minutes. And I got the platinum. That was my first platinum of 2019. Another game I've been playing is Black Ops 4. I've been messing with the zombies mode a lot more than just messing with multiplayer. Not really into the Battle Royale. Tried. Not really good.
Do you know you can do zombies in Battle Royale?
Oh yeah, there's a...
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a part... Yeah, there's a part in it where it's like Asylum, and there's zombies there, and there's a lot of high loot, so it's kind of dangerous to go there. I remember when Black Ops 4 came out. Again, this is the first Call of Duty game without a single player. That kind of started some controversy, thinking a lot of people wondered if this game was going to sell well. It's number one again on the NPD charts for best-selling game. In November, it actually outsold Red Dead Redemption 2 in November. But I'm sure the levels are going to even out later throughout the year because I feel like Red Dead is still going to sell more copies than Black Ops 4. Because I feel like just like Black Ops 4 with like the big hit, I feel like with Red Dead Redemption it'll keep on with sales as online keeps on getting better, and probably Undead Nightmare 2 maybe. Black Ops 4, yeah, it's nothing like, I mean I got it for like half price, so yeah, it's just something I like to ease out with because all this break, which we'll talk about, I think when we talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, it'll bring two different perspectives from Holden playing the online mostly, me playing the single player mostly, so we'll be able to talk about it in two different ways instead of...
Very different ways.
Yeah. Another game I've been playing is Moss, which is a VR game. It came out in February of last year, 2017, developed by Polyarc. I believe this game was announced right when like PSVR was announced, but it finally came out. It's a really great game, about 5-6 hours long. It's like perfect time for a VR game. It's like a 3D platformer, so like you're the perspective of like the camera and you're controlling this female mouse called Quill, and it's basically about her wanting to save her dad, well, her uncle, and it's like a storybook. It leaves kind of on a cliffhanger, so there's obviously going to be a book 2. It's a great game. I'm hoping to platinum soon, just need to get a little bit of collectibles and play through it again. So yeah, if you have a VR headset for PSVR, or I think it runs on Oculus 2 and Vive, I would highly recommend playing Moss. Another game I got, it's a really small game, about $8. It's on PS Vita and also PS4 called Reverie. It's developed by a New Zealand studio called Ring Byte. It came out in June of 2017, but I kind of got buzz of it from this ex-IGN worker who now has his own YouTube channel called Colin's Last Stand. His name is Colin Moriarty. He's brought it up in his Game of the Year video and also just on Twitter, and it was a great game. It's a Zelda-like clone, so a traditional like 2D on top Zelda game. It's really fun, pretty short. It only took me about 5 hours to beat in platinum, so I would highly recommend it if you like Zelda clones. A game I just started about a couple days ago called Hyper Light Drifter. I was just playing actually when Holden walked in.
Heard of that?
Yeah, kind of Dark Souls, as the combat's very hard, at least for me. And it's a great game, rewards challenge, a lot of secrets. It's kind of like almost too like, it doesn't really tell you what it's about. I did some research on it. Apparently, it's about the guy who made the game had like heart condition or something, and so it's about like the character dealing with disease and stuff. So, I got it on the Switch right now. I think it's everywhere else.
How much was it?
$20. It's a pretty fun game so far.
That's like with Owlboy with me. They paid $20 and it was like, wow, that was kind of a short for $20.
Well,
Is it long? Is that at least long? How was it, like 5 hours?
yeah, no, I'm not done with it yet. I'm still playing it. I would say it's around the 15 to 20 hour mark, and then probably like 25 or 30 hours if you like want to get all the collectibles and secrets and stuff.
That's way better than Owlboy.
Yeah, I played Owlboy, didn't finish it. I just like didn't really like it.
I finished it. It was it was like $25 and it was a little too short for me.
The art was great, and
the art was amazing.
Yeah.
And the gameplay was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked it too. I just like couldn't get myself to finish it. I was playing it during the summer, and then some other things came out.
I played Owlboy during like the school year, so in between classes. It was like a 5-hour game.
I would recommend it. The combat's different because like Owlboy, like you can't attack with him, so you have to attack with like other people.
Yeah.
And you carry them, and so there's like one of them has like a pistol, other has like a shotgun blast.
And the other one, you didn't get to that bit.
No.
There's a third one where he just throws webs.
Yeah.
And he's just infinitely better than the other two.
Red Dead Redemption 2, I've been playing exclusively all through break, but we'll talk about that later in our discussion of our favorite games of the year. Then Mega Man 11 is the last game. I just beat this about 3 days ago. I don't know about this game.
You went in liking it, right? You liked it at first.
There is some.
I saw the transition of you liking it to hating it. Or not hate.
If you're a traditional Mega Man fan, I wouldn't recommend playing it. There's like some parts of it that are good. There's like some stages and some bosses that like really elevate it. Like with Blockman, he has like different phases where like he actually transforms, and you have to. Yeah. And I would probably say he's one of the hardest like bosses, Robot Masters to fight in the game. Maybe it's the first one I beat. And again, it's a good game, but is it a good Mega Man game? I'm not sure.
Yeah. The music was very.
Yeah.
The music was very bland compared to Mega Man standards.
Yeah, I just wish they went back to the 8-bit style. I know it's easier and cheaper to create in the 2.5 like D aesthetic, but it doesn't look as good. It's like the traditional bit era.
Very not pleasing to the eye.
So yeah, I'll probably give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Mega Man 11. All right, so to get into, have you been playing anything, or have you just been playing Red Dead exclusively?
Do you remember Shrek 2 on the PS2?
Yes.
I got that for Christmas.
Oh, you did.
And I played the first 3 levels.
I didn't know you still had your PS2.
Yo,
really.
Donkey's Hero Time is ridiculous. It's the one where you're chasing after the wagon on back of the dragon, and like you have to dodge like trees and bridges. Oh my god. Like I had to switch to the D-pad because that part was so like hard, and like it's not that it's finicky because it's a PS2 game. No, it was legitimately challenging.
It's on PlayStation 2 Greatest Hits.
It is
from
that's
PlayStation.
The copy I have. On the top it's red and it says Greatest Hits.
I got it right here. It's like
I'm 3 levels in. I just got to Far Far Away.
All right.
Other games I've been playing. I have been grinding the crap out of Red Dead. I'm exploiting it to get to level 100 because I don't believe in Rockstar's idea of what an RPG should be.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been exploiting the game to get to the higher rank just so I can get everything.
Have you been playing any more of Shadow of the Tomb Raider at all, or been playing any of that?
I started that, but as soon as Red Dead came out, I dropped it. I'm gonna have to finish it though, just so I can get it back to you.
I totally forgot about that game. That's a game that I did not put on my list. That
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider I enjoyed a lot.
It looks nice.
I got the platinum for it. Really enjoyed it. It's a little bit different. It's not from. So the first 2 were developed by Crystal Dynamics, and then the third one was developed by Eidos Montreal, which made the Deus Ex games a couple years back. But it was also like collaborative with Crystal Dynamics,
yeah,
but
I saw, like, Crystal
yeah.
Dynamics on the box. They changed Laura's like.
Look, doesn't she like look the lighting?
Well, her face structure is totally different because we were at Dave & Buster's and we were playing the Lara Croft game, and that night I was playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then we look at Lara Croft on their screen. I'm like, wow, that's a completely different model.
I think I heard from the devs that they wanted to make her look more like traditional, like in the old games, like her face.
I liked her look from Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Me too.
The best.
I think it looked more modern.
It was it was younger. She looks like she's like 32
Mm-hmm.
in the new one. I definitely like the model for the Rise of the Tomb Raider better.
I think it's one of the more compelling stories, but like all three stories
and me of Uncharted,
all the three stories in the Tomb Raider games are like kind of shit. But like you mostly play them.
They're not known for the story though. Like, do you remember the story of the original Tomb Raiders?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I just remember the levels.
But like this one, I kind of remember more. It's like one of the more memorable ones. I have like a video up on my channel if you want to.
They tried harder with the story.
Yeah, I have a review up on it on my channel if you guys want to look at it. But yeah.
The last thing I played, it's been off and on. I've been playing through Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which I'll talk about in our 2018 discussion. But yeah, I've been playing the crap out of that. I got through low rank. I'm almost through high rank. I'm planning to actually beat this game because I've never I've gotten to the G rank in other Monster Hunter games, but I've never played G rank. So this one I'm actually gonna play.
There's supposed to be a substantial DLC pack coming up for Monster Hunter Ultimate coming
Monster
soon.
Hunter World.
Yep, World. So,
yep, two different games.
Yeah.
Two totally different games, and I like to play, but I actually am contemplating restarting Monster Hunter World and playing it with friends, because I don't remember the story. I'm looking at all my armor sets now, and I'm like, yeah, but it won't be fun if I just jump back in, so I might as well just start again. Plus, my character looks dumb, and I already used the free voucher to change your character, but Capcom does this grimy thing where you have to pay
actual money.
You have to pay actual money
Wow.
to get a ticket that allows you to customize your
microtransactions.
Yep.
All right.
So that's why I'm saying, I don't like this character. I'll just create a new one, so I can do that for free.
That's stupid.
And the story's not long.
No.
It's just a matter of grinding to get the 1 OP thing and then wrecking shop.
So some honorable... I have an honorable mention before we get into... I actually have two honorable mentions before we get in. Yeah, games that didn't really make the list of my favorite games of the year. But
before we move on, this is where we get into spoiler cast, because we're actually going to be talking about these games from 2018.
Yeah, then somewhat of the story. So.
But first, honorable mention.
Dead Cells. Game that came out. I forget the name of the developer.
I love that trailer.
Oh yeah.
The game was.
I have it on my Switch.
The game was kind of.
I forget the name of the developer, but I loved this game. Not it's a Metroidvania roguelike where every time you play it's different. So it reminds me a lot of The Binding of Isaac, which is why I think I love it so much, is because every time you play it's something different.
Some roguelikes.
Yeah. I probably put 15 hours into it. It came out in the late summer of August, early September, I believe. Because I remember playing it before school started. It's always a game I go back to sometimes and play for a couple maybe in an hour at the most, because that's how usually long the games will last. It's a very difficult game. Demands replayability along with mastering the mechanics. So you'll I've been stuck at this boss 3 times now. You gotta master his moves. You gotta know when to dodge roll, know when to attack, and when to pull back. There is this controversy about the game with IGN and about the plagiarism scandal that I guess we can talk about a little bit.
That was its own kind of thing.
Yeah, so the Nintendo editor who doesn't work at IGN anymore, his name was Philip Mewson. He was found guilty of taking another's review by the name of Boomstick Gaming's YouTube channel, if you guys want to check his review out.
Almost word for word.
Yeah. Mewson was fired shortly after the accusations that came out, but that wasn't all. Kotaku reporter Jason Schreier found that Mewson plagiarized other reviews such as FIFA 18 and other small Switch games from other small either YouTubers or publishers of reviews. So he was fired, I believe, the day of, and just reports just kept on coming out from people that were just trying to find more dirt on him, and and they did find dirt on him.
It's sad because he kind of like dug himself a hole. He
that was the thing. He never even apologized for it.
He tried to defend himself. He's like, yeah, people have similar track minds. And it's like, no, that was like...
No, you're using exact wording.
Yeah, paraphrased word for
like,
word.
People can say, like, we weren't blaming you on saying, like, Dead Cells has fast, fluid, like, combat. Like, those are, like, standard gaming words. But, like, when you're using, like, the same sentence structure and, like, the same words for words, and, you're, like, this sentence and this sentence together... That's when we're like, okay, maybe, like, you started actually plagiarizing. Like, everyone says, like, yeah, like,
it was pretty
Red Dead is, like, dense and depth, and then, like, you care about the characters, and it's a game that obviously has been put a lot of care and work into. Like, people can say that about a game, but, like, when you're saying the exact sentences, like, together in the way that he was saying it, then, like, that's obviously plagiarism. Because, like, gamers, like, we use certain vocabulary, obviously, for words. We use words like fast, fluid, maybe, like, attention to detail and shit like that.
Feel like...
Yeah. It feels like... It made me feel like Spider-Man.
I feel like Spider-Man.
Which we'll talk about.
It does a good job making you feel like Spider-Man.
Oh my god. I feel like fucking Batman.
That was literally in the first sentence in the written review.
If you guys ever want to watch this,
the
Donkey's video where like he mentioned it like 5 times in the fucking like written review from IGN, which I think
it says it like on 5 different occasions. It makes you feel like
Jonathan Dorbush I think was the reviewer who did it, so on IGN. Another last game I want to mention is Persona 5, which I kind of almost forgot that I played.
That was 18.
That was 2017, but I played it in 2018. So this is a 2017 game. I think it came out in 2016, and we talked about it in our games that we wanted to come to Switch, so if you guys want to hear me talk about that more, you can watch that video. It came out in 2017, but I actually didn't play it till 2018, of the summer of 2018. I haven't beaten it yet, but I probably put like 34 hours into it, which isn't a lot for a Persona game.
That's like an 80-hour game.
The campaigns range from 80 to 90 hours if you like only stick to the story. The combat is why I love and also the story for Persona. It takes the traditional sense of a JRPG from like taking turns of the traditional combat style, but like throws in that little Atlas Persona style in it.
Spice of life.
Yeah, the spice of life.
It's like watching a Spice of Life anime, but you actually get to play it sometime.
Yeah, so I probably won't be able to play it till like next summer maybe, or maybe at the end of the spring semester, so we'll see. But it's a great game. Highly recommend it if you like JRPGs and the Persona series. Definitely recommend it. Also, Dancing All Night, like a spin-off game of like the dancing games.
They had a dancing game.
And also Persona 5R just got announced, but like we really know nothing about the game. It was like a 15-second announced trailer. People are speculating it's going to be like a remake of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a remaster for PS5. I don't know.
All right. So now our favorite games of the year. I have, how many do I got on my list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 names.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And I'm sure some of ours are going to interlap.
There's shorter ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
One game that I know is not going to interlap, so I'll just start off, is Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
This game came out in 2017, but I didn't even know this existed until...
It came out in 2017?
It came out in 2017, but...
This is another honorable mention.
But it came out in 2018 for the Nintendo Switch and also PS4, and that was the reason why I played it.
Okay. That's fair.
This is probably the only Metroidvania game that I've played and that I loved so much. I played it on the Switch during the summer when I went down to Oregon. So whenever we were taking long car rides to places, I would pick up my Switch and play the game. It has so many secrets. The story is like, it's like you don't really know what's going on, but like there's enough like clues and stuff and like videos on YouTube where like you can put together and actually care about the story and the characters. The combat is simple but executes so well. The different worlds and landscapes put together. It's the art style is one of the main reasons why I love the game. It's simple 2D art, like almost like painted, and very cheap. It was like 15 hours, but like I looked on my Switch the other day. You can like track how many hours you played a game. I put like 35 hours into the game for like a $15 game. Very well, and also there's a shit ton of free DLC. I think there's like 3 DLC packs in the game that are completely free if you buy it. There's like a boss rush mode that was just added to the game. and the bosses are great in the game. It's one of the main reasons why you should play it. Difficult game, but if you take time to learn and master it, it's wonderful. So I highly recommend Hollow Knight if you love kind of Dark Souls-esque Metroidvania games. It's a Metroidvania game at heart. It mostly takes inspirations from the what are they called? The Metro game.
Metrovania.
Yeah, from like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and then also the Prime. Well, not the Prime games, but the classic Metroid games. So what's one of your fave games of the year?
I'm also going to do like my FE1. Sonic Mania came out in 2017, but Sonic Mania Plus was 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Sonic Mania Plus is basically, cause Sonic Mania easily, hands down, best 2D Sonic game, right? And then, they went and said, hey, you guys have been asking for Mighty, and I don't know where Ray came from, but Ray, for how many years? Here they are, and you can play as them. And then it gave us a tutorial. It gave us a demo of Angel Island. They lied to us. They said the Angel Island was a level you can play as. It's not. It's basically like 1/3 of a level. But then they added Encore mode, which was the special stages were harder than the original, which is good because I had already mastered the original ones. You play as Mighty and Ray, and they gave a couple stages like some change ups. Like they gave Mirage Saloon like its entire first act, which I loved because I hated the flying section in the OG. So that's why because I played as Knuckles, so you get the first act as Knuckles, but you don't get it as Sonic and Tails. But in Encore mode, they just gave it its whole, a totally different first act that everyone can play through, which I love. Mm-hmm. What else did they add? They added 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
Which I honestly don't play as much as I would like to. Yeah, it's just Sonic Mania, but more.
Then they added a couple new cutscenes to the game.
They did. Oh yeah, they changed some cutscenes. They added some like boss battle changes. Mm-hmm. So they changed the OG Metal Sonic boss battle to this different one. I honestly prefer the original though. Mm-hmm. But I wish it was like if you play in Mania mode, you get the OG stuff. But if you play in Encore mode, you get the regular stuff. In Mania mode, they changed the Metal Sonic boss battle, and I much prefer the old one. Yeah, some cutscenes are new, and they added like the pinball, which I love because I hate the blue ring stages.
Yeah.
Or the blue ball stages. But yeah, it's just Sonic Mania, but more, and for like $5, it's like easily worth it. Mm-hmm.
Another game I want to mention is A Way Out. This came back in like April or March of last year. It's a, do you remember during the Game Awards last year, the guy that said like fuck the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's the guy that, alright, that's the guy that made it. I think the dev is called Fulbright. It is,
Yo, fuck the Oscars.
Yeah. It's a only co-op game. My roommate and I played it. It is, we played it in one night, got the platinum the same night. It's mostly story focused. It's about two prisoners. One of them got in for, both of them got in for other reasons. But you find out more about the characters as you go through. So like it's mainly co-op. Well, it is co-op only. So like you and your character have to like communicate back and forth and see like when you're going to do certain things. So make sure that the game works out fine. And then also there's completely different parts, so it like kind of wants you to like replay the game and play the different characters. Cool thing about the game I remember is when if like only one person bought it, you could give a code to someone else to like it's like a key that you could give to other people if you want to play online with like one of your friends.
That reminds me of back when the DS Lite was a thing, where what was it called? Like DS Lite, like crossplay or something?
Yeah.
Where like one person would host Mario Kart, and then the rest could connect to his DS, and we could all play Mario Kart, and it was just the one cartridge.
Mm-hmm. I think the game is only $30. It's probably like around 5 to 6 hours long, but probably 5 hours at the most. But it's a great game. I think everyone should play it if you love story-driven games, especially if you're looking for something to play with like a friend or a co-op game. It's a great game, great couch co-op game, and I highly recommend it. All right, your next one.
I'm going in order of like least impressed to most impressed.
Okay.
Well, maybe not, exact. But the next one I'm looking at is Octopath.
This is a game.
You have that on your list too,
I
right?
probably put like one single hour into. I only played it once, and I have never fucking touched it again.
Yeah, like its whole thing was, it's a traditional RPG with,
and
like,
something
with pixel art.
Something we should love, but I just maybe I'll give it another try.
I got so bored with it. Basically where I got to the point where I had beaten everyone's chapter 2, and by the way, I don't give a rat's about the story. People were like, oh, it's 8 characters with their own story. It's like, it's not interesting to me. I beat everyone's chapter 2. I gotten all, because you can assign everyone 2 classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had gotten everyone's second classes, and then it just became a cakewalk, and I thought, well, this isn't fun anymore. There's no challenge, so I just dropped it and I never picked it up again.
What do you think about the combat?
Oh, it's nice. I'm not gonna say the combat wasn't good. I like the combat. They you get 2 classes with their own abilities and whatnot, but you also get this new thing called the break, where you could, for every turn you don't spend a break, you get a break point, and you can spend multiple of them to either attack more than once or to superpower your skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've never seen that before. I thought that was cool. But it's just the rest of the game. That's all that game is the combat.
I thought the art was pretty good.
I like the art. I like the art a lot. I do like seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is they make mud crabs and everything. There's no interesting stuff to look at.
That's a game I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah.
Actually.
It was very, when it first came out, I was floored. But then I just lost interest as I played.
Alright, well, here's one game that we can both talk about, is Spider-Man.
Yep.
It is, the more I think about it, the more I kind of dislike it in some ways, because we both got the platinum, one of the only platinums.
Easiest platinum ever.
It is.
Easiest.
The part that kind of made me not want to get the platinum, and the part that kind of made me dislike the game actually is the crimes.
Oh my god.
Is so fucking frustrating. And I don't understand why they put so many in the game.
The crimes was
and they're not that fun.
It was my last trophy was to get all the crimes.
Mine too.
And oh my god, when you have 5 crimes per section of the city, plus DLCs also add more crimes. I have yet to finish the DLCs. You have 5 crimes per district, and there's 20 districts or something like that. And you have to sit around and wait up to 3 minutes in between each crime. And they all get resolved in 5 minutes. It's the same thing every time. Go to the area, fight the people, and then wait around for the next crime. It was so boring and tedious. The crimes were so bad.
Also, the stealth sessions were just not good at all.
The stealth was super rough.
It fucking sucked.
I compared this game to I said it's Batman Arkham Knight, but Spider-Man, and I still hold to that statement because it's very true. But I feel the stealth sections in Batman
were way better.
Way better. A million times better.
Because when you think of Spider-Man, you don't really think of him as a stealthy character. You think more of him in your face.
I will say that the best mission in the game though was a stealth mission where you play as MJ, and then you have Spider-Man come to your aid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the one in the bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that level.
Or it was a train station or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that one. But I feel they only did it for story exposition to tell
Dude,
what the bad guys are doing.
I like and hate that game. I love a lot about it, but then there's some of it that's just so bad. The DLCs were so lackluster and the story wasn't good.
I want to
replay
replay
it. Then there's I love swinging around. I love beating people up. Well, I did like beating people up. I turned the game all the way down to easy mode because I was tired of doing the same thing over and over, which is beat people up. But the costumes, oh my god, I love the costumes in that game. Even just the default white spider one, so good. It's probably my favorite Spider-Man costume.
And also the outrage at the Raimi suit.
That was, they added it in.
Gamers were just need to calm the fuck down about that shit. Stop thinking you're entitled to everything.
Well, I thought it was someone like made like a fake leak, and then people believed it, and then everyone was mad because it wasn't real, and then they made it real.
They made, like, obviously they were working on it for a while, because, like, you can't just, like, put a suit in, like, one day.
Yeah.
Because, like, people were, like, complaining about it. It's like, oh, they must have put it in for that. No, like, you have to, like, QA, like, the suit. You have to design it.
I think it was a fake leak, too.
Make sure it's okay with Sony that you can put it in.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
You'll get your rent when you fix, or you'll get your suit when you fix
the
this
damn door. The story was good. I thought, like, the combat was fine.
I like the story. I love every time you leave a mission, then Peter calls MJ and they have, like, an awkward exchange. Yeah. Like,
well, my favorite part was when, like, they were texting and he was just, like, walking and shit. That's one of my favorite parts.
He said it's over. Wait, that's not what I meant.
Well, yeah.
It's so relatable.
Alright, something really small I'm just gonna say for the lulz and everything is Smash Bros. Ultimate. Why? Because it's Smash. Next one.
Oh, wait, hang on. Back to Spider-Man. Real quick, I need to throw in, the game punishes you for being fast. Like, if you get really good at swinging around the city, the dialogue will cut each other off. And it's so frustrating because I want to hear that dialogue.
It's almost the same thing with Red Dead Redemption. Is like when you ride to a certain spot and like you make it to your location, like they'll like cut off mid sentence, like, well, it looks like we're here.
And they won't pick up on it. Like, that's something God of War did that I like. When you cut off a dialogue exchange, they go, oh, by the way, back to the thing we were talking about. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't in Spider-Man, so I probably missed about 50% of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay. So we said Smash. Smash was good.
Because it's Smash. Alright.
Yep, that's just an obvious. If you have a Switch, it's mandatory that you get Smash because that is, hands down one of the best games.
They didn't like improve on some things, but just like with I know you don't really like the menu, but I like the menu.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about the menu. They made it very like competitive friendly.
Yeah.
Like they made like this game caters to the competitive community.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not. So.
Which Brawl didn't really do.
I will say though, Brawl still has the best single player.
I did not like World of Light that much.
I didn't either. As soon as I found out how to one shot everything, I did it.
Yeah. Let's see. I got three more games I want to talk about.
Oh, I have a lot.
Okay. Well, how about you talk about one?
Let me talk about something I probably should have said I was playing during winter break. Is Spyro the Reignited trilogy.
Something that I have, but I haven't played yet. But
yeah. Oh my god, that game was so fun to just sit back and relax and play through. Oh my god, I've never been more relaxed playing a video game than Spyro.
It's very easy, right?
Yeah, Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this. The first game is, well, yeah, it's an easy game, but the first game, everything you can do straight from the start. So if there's a puzzle that you can't figure out, it's on you.
Is it linear, or is it more like open world, like Banjo, like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie? That's where like you go to like different worlds and like collect shit. And then
there's certain requirements you have to meet, but how you meet those requirements are up to you.
It's like 64.
Because yeah, there's like I skipped a couple levels. Like I was trying to 100% the game, and I'm like, wait, what am I missing? So I went on a wiki and I found out that I had skipped through like 6 levels. I'm like, wait, I need to go back and play those. But like if there's this ledge that you can't figure out how to get onto, every ability you can do in the game is already unlocked, so you better get to getting good and figuring out how to get on that ledge, as opposed to like Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 where you might as well play the story first and then complete everything after, because you don't get like abilities until you pay money for them, like a world later. But yeah, I like Spyro. It's, it's an old game, so, it's not going to be 2018 standards, but it's still very fun to play through. And they fixed the camera, thank God. The original PS1's camera was so, ugh.
Also, I heard it had an option where, like, you can change the music to the original score, then also, like...
Reignited. I didn't.
Also,
I'm not
the
nostalgic for the music.
Okay.
Oh, the cheat codes in that game are funny.
I didn't even know there were cheat codes.
There are cheat codes.
Okay.
There's one to get 99 lives. There's one where you can change the color of Spyro. There's one to give him a big head. One to make him like 2D almost.
You brought up the 99 lives. That reminds me of, there was this one, I think it might be in all 3 Crash games, but I remember there's like a trophy where you get like 99 lives. You have to get 99 lives in one of the Crash games for a trophy.
Huh.
That's just something I just remember.
I didn't get the trophy, but I did get the 120%.
Okay.
I haven't played the third one yet, and I haven't played half the second one.
I heard.
I'm working
Is the
on it.
order? Because this is the order I've heard of the games that are best to worst. Is the second one, first one, then third one.
Yes.
Okay.
People generally take the second one as the best one, and then the third one's the
And
best.
the third one, they just keep on adding shit that then
Isn't
will
that
be
the
added.
Crash too? People say.
Yeah, a lot of people like the second one, and then
No one likes the third one.
yeah, well, the third one's good, but it just adds more. You have to play as other characters, and it's mostly just
That's the same with Spyro.
and it's mostly just vehicle missions, which aren't that fun. I'd rather have another platforming mission.
Yeah.
The first Crash is pretty difficult.
Well,
Second Crash is
It's
not that
difficult
difficult.
because they messed up his hitbox to make it an egg. Did Crash come out in 2018?
Crash came out in 2017,
Oh, okay.
and then Crash Team Racing is coming out
I'm
2019.
excited because
Me too.
we get Crash Team Racing and Sonic Racing,
Oh yeah.
and then the trifecta of Crash, Mario, and Sonic Racing will be complete.
Got any other games? I only got really three.
An easy couch co-op game would be Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Okay.
So it's basically the first generation, but dumbed down for babies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very sit back, relax, and just have fun playing. I don't need to get into it. It's Kanto. We've had how many Kanto reboots?
We're supposed to be getting a new mainline Pokemon game this year, right?
Yes, and it better not suck.
I'm pretty excited for that one. Oh, I will get that one.
If they don't give my boy and Empoleon a Mega Evolution, I will be so frustrated.
Do you think we're gonna get new gen or?
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be new gen.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna get any more Z moves or Mega Evolutions though, because they're trying to stomp that out.
New region?
Yeah, just new region.
All right.
Probably
Any new mechanics?
No.
All right.
They tried to do that with Mega Evolution and Z moves, and they're already trying to stomp them out. So, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is super fun. I said that would be the perfect one for you to play in your dorm.
The last game,
2 players, easy.
the last Pokemon game I really played and really got into was the remake of Omega
Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
yeah, for the 3DS.
Next one I can quickly skim through is Dragon Ball FighterZ,
With a Z.
which it should just be Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I don't know why they had to, that makes way more sense. I'm not good at fighting games, so I picked it up. It hurt my thumbs, and I traded it in.
I heard it's a good fighting
It's
game though.
oh man, watching competitive people play it is so much fun.
Also, the art direction
The
is
art
pretty.
is great.
Yeah.
It plays like a movie. The plot isn't canon,
Okay.
and it's super fun to watch. It looks amazing, and the community is sprawling.
The fighting community I have a lot of respect for.
Oh yeah, dude! When you see them actually put in the button inputs on screen, and then it just scrolls by at lightning speed. Oh my god, that hurts my thumbs just thinking about
Definitely.
it. Yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I picked it up and I couldn't do it. I
Mhm.
wasn't skilled enough.
Um,
And so that leaves for me 4, technically 5 games.
we're gonna leave God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2 at the very last 2.
Okay, I can say you only have 2 left, right? And those
Yeah,
are
then
God of War.
then God of War and then Red Dead.
I also have AC Odyssey, which
Game that has mixed reception, but it's mostly been praised.
see. Here's the thing, I played through Origins, and I knew that AC Odyssey was just going to be an Origins clone, and I really wasn't impressed with Origins. But you guys were all impressed with it, and I'm like, no, it's not going to be that good.
The last Assassin's Creed game I really played was Black Flag.
That's something I need to pick up again. I played a no HUD run of Black Flag. It was super pretty.
It's a beautiful game.
I need to go back and I need to platinum Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations, because I platinum Assassin's Creed 2 when it got the Ezio trilogy remastered. But yeah, AC Odyssey, all I can say about that game is to watch the
I heard the story's
Smosh
good.
Games. The story's alright. If you watch the Smosh Games honest trailer about it, they pretty much sum up everything I would have to say about it.
What do you think about the RPG mechanics in the game of the weapons having leveling and then also the enemies having a certain level and stuff? Does it really matter, or you have to grind, or?
Yeah, the grind is terrible, and the way I dealt with it was by getting my assassination skill so high to where I can just stealth
Like one
my
shot,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, where I can stealth my way through the game. I'm not a fan of the RPG mechanics. I would rather the old playstyle of Assassin's Creed 4 and the Ezio trilogy because it was all counterattack based. So as soon as you counterattack, you can start a chain of like 5 one-hit kills that give you a nice little, whooshy animation of how you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I much prefer that to the Odyssey and
if you had to give a like an elevator pitch about the story, like a 30-second recap of like the story, like what would you say the story is about? Like the very beginning.
You get kicked off a mountain. Your sibling is brainwashed. That's spoilers.
Okay.
You take down a cult of Cosmos. That's the headline. Is you play
Is that basically the Templars?
Yeah, you
Okay.
take down a cult is the main thing.
Alright.
You get kicked off a mountain, and so does your sibling.
I will play it. I'm just not sure when I will. Maybe never. Maybe
never.
We'll see.
I would recommend I recommend like Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Ezio Trilogy over the new ones any day. The last one I liked was Syndicate because that was the last one before they went to the RPG formula, which I'm not a fan of. I love me some RPGs, but I don't want that. I don't want your ultra extra dip in my salsa.
Man, like I feel like there's like too many open world RPGs that are coming out.
There's too many.
That's what's selling, but I don't know. It's getting oversaturated.
Yes. Hey, speaking of RPGs, before we get into the big two, I wanted to talk about Monster Hunter World versus Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate because they both came out this year. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is a re-release with some extras of Monster Hunter Generations that came out like, I don't know, 2017, 16, I can't quite remember.
16.
Yeah. They added a ton more. Compared to... Alright, so here's the selling point of Monster Hunter World. Everything's in HD. It looks amazing. And it's on like PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, isn't this like the first time it was on... I believe it was like going on...
it was the first time it was on home consoles.
Like 3DS and Wii U only, right?
The last one that was on like a home console was like way back at PS2 in like 2005. So, seeing it back on home console was super nice. You get to play it on your nice big screen. You get to play it like on open online.
Also on Switch, I believe.
Yeah. Nope. Monster Hunter World is not on Switch.
I mean, Ultimate.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter World is the one that's on console and it's HD and it's all pretty. But there's like 5 monsters and there's no G rank. Although I'm getting excited for Iceborne, which is bringing my boy Nargacuga in. Compared to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which is... Generations was an anniversary title, right? It was like Monster Hunter 30-year anniversary. So they literally a lot of they just threw everything into this game. They have a great majority of the monsters because Capcom, recycles everything.
Capcom's been doing great this past 3 years, man. I
will tell you right now,
they've been doing a lot of great things.
The models for the monsters and all the code is all just recycled in, so it's easy to make a new game pretty fast. Mm-hmm. So there's 1,000,001 monsters, and there's a G rank. Monster Hunter World does not have a G rank, and G rank is basically the end game super hard, where all the fun stuff starts to happen. Mm-hmm. And also exclusive to Generations Ultimate is you get hunter styles, which vary the gameplay very much.
What are hunter styles?
I can explain them. Guild style is the normal one. In Monster Hunter World, they have their own special moves, but it's basically guild style. It's like a modified guild style. So there's regular guild style. You get aerial style, which basically is when you dodge into a monster, you will fly up and then you can attack it and then mount it, which was the new thing they added to the 4 Ultimate. Adept style changes your dodge, so when you dodge perfectly, you get you don't take any damage and you get a super attack. And those were the 3 that were in Generations. In Generations Ultimate, they added 2 new ones. So they added what's it called? Apothecary? No, not apothecary. Alchemist style, which gives you a barrel that you can make OP items with, and Valor Style, which doesn't change your dodge, but it changes your sheathing move to a special attack, and then it gives you like a Valor mode if you spill a gauge, and so all your attacks are like supercharged. So it's basically like a new way to play each weapon, and there's like 15 weapons, so that's a lot of different play styles. And that's what I say about Generations Ultimate is I think it's just better compared to World. Like, yeah, it's not HD or anything, but there's definitely more to do and more fun to be had. And now we get into the big two.
We'll talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 first.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to be able to bring two different perspectives with this. Obviously, if you've been playing more of the online.
The online.
And I'll talk about the story.
I have not touched the story.
I'm working on a separate video about this, about why I think why I think Rockstar shouldn't make another GTA game, just because of like the magnitude and the seriousness of like the story that they've made with Red Dead. And I just think that it's such a more like mature and like established game than like the silliness and satire of GTA, that I just don't think that they should move on necessarily to that again. But oh man, I've never been more enamored with like a story than like Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a very deliberate game. It takes its time with its story, which is something that I love. It's like we have like all these fast-paced games now, and for a game to say, no, we have a story here that's gonna take like 60 to 70 hours to tell, but we're here to like tell it, and we're gonna like reward you with certain things throughout like the different chapters of the game and make you like care about these characters. And there's like so many characters in the game, and it's like a little overwhelming at first in the Dutch van der Linde game. So let me do a little synopsis of like the story real quick.
Sure.
So if you played,
Have you beat it yet?
No, I haven't played. I haven't beat it yet. So it's a very long game. Red Dead Redemption. So the first Red Dead Redemption came out like PS3, Xbox 360 generation. It's about this guy named ex-outlaw named John Marston, who has to pay off his debt from the government from working with Dutch van der Linde game, which is what Red Dead 2 is about. Anyway, like the first Red Dead, he has to hunt down like Bill, Javier, and Dutch, and so he can get his family back and live a peaceful life without like the law coming after him. So that's what the story's about in the first Red Dead. The second story, Red Dead Redemption 2, is a prequel. I don't know why they called it 2, but whatever. It's about the Dutch van der Linde game before the events of the first Red Dead, and you're playing as a new character named Arthur Morgan, which is his Dutch van der Linde's right hand man. And so it's about the story about how the Dutch van der Linde game crumbled with like civilization coming to the Wild West, and how the Wild West is kind of being like silenced, and how outlaws are dying. So it's also about that. It's also about the game, and then it's also about Arthur Morgan as a character, about how he's coming to terms with like the Wild West is coming to an end, and how he's going to come he's going to come to terms with that, and how he's going to battle that.
Because the Industrial Revolution is coming in, so all the cowboys are turning into
workers.
Yeah, train conductors and factory work. You didn't mention Red Dead Revolver.
I haven't even played that. I don't even know what that's about.
It's a prequel to the prequel. It's like the only reference you get to Red Dead Revolver is like in references. Like people are like, "Hey, have you ever heard about this legendary gunman?" Which is another fun game. I recommend. Like, I think it's like a PlayStation 2 game, so it probably didn't age very well.
Yeah, PlayStation. It came out 2004.
Oh, wow. I never played it. I just remember Red Dead Revolver being a thing.
Takes place in the 1880s with Nate Harlow and his partner Griff have found gold in an area called Bear Mountain. So yeah, nothing to do with like this story.
It's only referenced in Red Dead. It doesn't actually. It's not a part of that story.
No.
It's in the world, but it's not in the story.
But they have so there's like a lot of characters in the game, and you have like different missions with them, and you can do side missions with them, and there's the honor missions, and you want to take your time with the game. The game is beautiful. It's the best looking game I've ever seen. There's like some like jaw-dropping moments of just like the landscapes that are like wow, and the game does a great job with that. Also, the soundtrack is pretty good. It's not as good as God of War, but I do think like the certain times that it plays with like certain scenes and the music cues it gives really like brings in. It's like almost like a movie, but it's a game.
The same thing about God of War 2. That's what I hated about when Game Awards gave up the soundtrack, and people were like, "No, it's at the moments where the music happened." I'm like, "No, because God of War did the same damn thing." Oh, yeah. And first.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm still sore about that.
So
Hey, we got Game of the Year, we boy, hey!
I highly recommend Red Dead 2. You can play the story, and now we got Holden talking about the online, which I really haven't played.
The online is in beta, so there's not like, nothing's concrete, so to say. The beta is very, like, barren and empty. The only real things you have to do is the story mission, which is only like 5. They're supposed to add more later. Go around and PvP people, hunt for money, and
They just added a battle royale mode called like
they
Done
have
Something.
showdown races, and the third thing I don't even remember. But then they, of course, they added a battle royale, which I don't know. We might actually get into.
There's only like 34. I think right now you can only play with 34 players. I think right now or something like that. So yeah, that might be something we might want to jump into.
It's hard because I think whoever the guy behind IGN tweeted it best. He's like, oh no, never mind, that was about the single player. The thing about, like, you sell a $1, like, bird carcass and then you leave the town with, like, $200 bounty. Nothing like that is in online. There's no... It's a very bare bones version of the single player.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot to do other than customize your character and go around and be a douche to other people.
Is it a little overpowered or unbalanced with the servers, or what?
With servers? I don't know. Like, when you spawn in, you get shot immediately. You just spawn into a different place. Like, there's no overcrowded... It's like playing GTA. There's no, like, overcrowded server. In terms of, like, gameplay and whatever, the reason I say I don't believe in Rockstar's version of an RPG is there's like 100. There's it goes from rank 1 to 100, but literally everything you could ever need is unlocked at like rank 14, aside from like some other things like some ability cards or whatever. But like the weapons you need are all at, like, all at your disposal. It's just a matter of getting money, which is hard to do when they had to like fix the missions so they give you more money at the end and hunting. There's just not a fast way to make money in this game without like glitching the crap out of it. And same way with ranking, there's no way to level up really fast without, glitching the crap out of it. So, it's in beta. I can't be too hard on it. Luckily, though, they tweeted out that they're not going to reset people's characters, so that's good. All my time and effort glitching it to level 65 has not gone to waste.
So yeah, I recommend playing the game. If you like open world games that are very long.
I mean, there's more I can, because, you know me, I nitpick the crap out of Red Dead.
Yeah.
Like, my thing where, so they want to make it realistic, right? So they add like a cutscene where you skin the animal, but that's like a 10-second animation.
Well, it's better than like the old days where literally you just like grab a knife and like cut open and then like grab and then like leave.
Well, why do they make me wait to... And they video game the crap out of it,
because it's deliberate.
Like, they want to show you the skinning, but the way they skinning is so video game to crap. Like, you literally just rip it off like a blanket. And then they don't even let you, like, teleport it to your horse. It's so angry. I get so angry the way they, like... They want to make it realistic, but they also cut corners, but they don't cut the right corners. Oh, man. You have to, like, catch... Like, I can't think of my argument off the top of my head. It has to be while I'm doing it and while I'm fired up.
It's just, like, the reasons you don't like it, the reasons I like it. It's just very... I just love the deliberate nature of it and how it takes its time with everything.
It's kind of like Persona 5. Like,
yeah.
It kind of makes you take your time with it.
It reminded me a little bit of Breath of the Wild, too, with, like... Because I played it at, like, the same time, and they're both open worlds, but, like, they're both very different games. But it's just, like, you're kind of, like, alone in this world, and you gotta, like, figure things out.
You have a Toon Link amiibo. Have you used that in Breath of the Wild? Have you gotten the Toon Link outfit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have Skyward Sword if you want the Skyward Sword outfit.
I mean, I'm probably never going to touch it again, but...
Yeah, I got very bored with Breath of the
Wild.
Alright. People praise Breath of the Wild, but I got bored with it very fast.
And now, our game of the year, God of War.
Our big boy.
Wait, I need a...
our long-awaited big boy. Wait, what?
I'll just edit this.
Read it, boy?
No, I'm going to do the... Wait, I can probably... Wait. I'm going to get the...
Read it, boy.
I'll say it again.
The Game Award goes to Ninja.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Alright, and now, our Game of the Year, God of War.
Our big boys. Here he comes. Listen to that music. That's much better than Red Dead's in comparison. How did Red Dead get that soundtrack award? We may never know. But hey, right side. God of War Game of the Year 2018, baby.
Okay. Man, I want to start off with this game. The God of War series started back in the PS2, the PS3 generation. These hack and slash games, back when hack and slash games were like really popular with like the Devil May Cry series.
That's what the Werehog stages were based on.
You couldn't really give a shit about Kratos of a character, and so what they did with this God of War PS4 game is they redefined who Kratos was as a character, gave him Breath of Life, gave him a son.
Different voice, everything.
Different voice, different setting. It's Norse mythology now instead of Greek.
It's still the same Kratos.
I don't really want to spoil the story too much if you haven't played it yet, but it's a great game that carries a lot of weight. The combat...
The combat,
wonderful.
If you've ever played it's kind
never really got tired of it.
It's because it's like it reminds me of like Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Like it has that kind of.
It has
combat.
the weight to the combat. It's not like hack and slash anymore.
Yeah,
you have to like think about what moves you're going to be doing.
And it's actually pretty difficult.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a pretty hard game.
Mhm. I wish they did more with Atreus though, as like a companion with like the combat instead of just like pressing X a bunch of times.
It was.
Square. Pressing square a bunch of times.
Here's the thing with Atreus. I like him. Like, he's, like, the best, like, ally character when, like, talking about, like, Elizabeth from Bioshock. Like, he's a very good, like, support character. Kid was a little shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a kid. Like, kids are gonna act like shit.
I really wish Kratos would be a dad and bend that kid over and smack him for being a little shit.
Like, here's the thing, though. I
wanted to smack that boy.
He's a little shit because his dad is a big shit. Like, that's the thing.
Is.
And so, like...
He gets better, though.
Yeah, you both... As, like, both of them do, which is, like... It's, like, a great story. And...
The story's amazing.
The story melds so well with, like, the combat, too. With, like, how things are going.
The world design was beautiful. There were so many times where I just put the controller down, or I'd, stop moving and I'd just pan around and be like, God damn, what a pretty game.
Maybe the game is also one shot too. There's never like any cuts or anything.
No cut camera.
Yeah.
Just looking at the world serpent in the background and being like, yeah, that's a full model.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a very long game too for the linear nature of it.
See, Red Dead has, authentic, skinning, but God of War has houses that live under turtles.
Oh yeah.
So good.
So yeah, it's a PlayStation. I mean, like this year, just like some of this year before we head out. This year has definitely been, I feel like, owned by PlayStation. We got Spyro, God of War, Detroit Become Human, and then Spider-Man. I'll probably always say that. But and then also Red Dead, even though it's for Xbox too. But they pushed it a lot with PlayStation.
Do you think Microsoft, because they're gunning it to be the best this year, do you think Microsoft might be the, as a precursor to this year's like games of 2019, do you think Microsoft's going to take the crown?
Maybe. They bought a lot of studios. They bought Obsidian, which is a great open world studio
they
RPG.
They bought a bunch of studios and like, hey, what games do you want to make? And they're like, oh, what's your budget? And they're like, you don't understand. We're Microsoft. There is no budget. What games do you want to make?
They made a studio called The Initiative, which is based in the Santa Monica area, so that's where like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studios, obviously, so the people that make God of War. So I feel like they're gonna have a lot of creative minds down there to make kind of like a linear style game like that, and maybe it'll be a great exclusive for the next generation. See, I'm like a little worried that Xbox might actually lead the generation off. Maybe PS5 might not do so well, but we'll have to see.
I'm waiting. I'm hoping they wait a year. I still want some longevity out of it.
It'll be 2020 probably when the
I hope so,
when the consoles come out.
I want my PS4 to have like another year before I go spending $400 on another one.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the episode. I think this was a good episode. I think 2019 we're leading off with a couple of great games. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out at the end of the month, so that'll be something to look forward to.
I'm excited.
Yep. Get hyped.
I apologize for my my voice. I'm a little sick right now. I got a bunch of mucus.
Been sucking too much dick. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Probably the next time we'll record is probably in the summer. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right, and goodbye.
See you in season 3.